Damn! What's up, guys? I just want to cover this real fast. This is a big part of my income. You know, even if you can't donate something to help, whatever, you know, this is how I make my money. I basically, YouTube's a fairly good size of my income monthly. You know, if you can't donate or you don't want to, that's fine. Feel free to smash the like button, hit the subscribe button, all that good stuff. But if I kept you from spending hundreds or, you know, $1,000 easy at a shop, consider me. You know what I'm saying? It takes time to make these videos. I love giving free information, but it also feels good to have my back scratched too. You know what I'm saying? So everything you need to know is in the link below. Also in the comment section, you'll find all my information in the pinned comments. And I hope I help you guys out. You can help me out. Let's get started.
All right, so here's the deal. I went down and got 10 feet of 1/4-inch line, and that was a bitch to get those out of the front of there and replaced. I don't know if you guys can see that, but fuck that. I don't want to do that again. So now we've got all new fuel lines, and now I've got that running to my emergency tank over here, which I am now going to turn on, and we are going to allow it to access the fuel pump for the first time. So that's on now. So we should have fuel draining down and into that line. And now I'm going to prime it, which should then feed the carbs finally, give them proper fuel pressure. Let's see if I can get this to turn on now. Jeez. All right, well, what'd you do here, Dan? You had all this working perfectly earlier. There we go. All right. Sounds like we've got activity. I can see it pulsing on here every time I turn it on and off. Good. It's definitely taking fuel now. But it's not saying it has enough. I'm going to keep going until that stops priming. If it stops priming, might still have an air pocket in the line somewhere. Alright, that's good enough. I'm actually going to crack the garage open. Make sure none of this is leaking. I don't see any leaks. So I put the carbs. Oh, no. We do. We have fuel leakage. Damn. Look at that. Definitely got fuel leakage. Bastard. Alright, well, let's turn that off. Of course, it couldn't be something simple. I'm probably going to end up having to throw that other fuel pump on there. I'm going to assume something's wrong with that fuel pump. So definitely got a lot of gas leaking down, so. Alright, well, it's definitely got a crap fuel pump in it, so I'm going to shut that off so doesn't keep trying to prime. I was wondering why it wasn't building pressure. I was like, this should have turned off by now. So there you go. I just got myself presented with the next problem, and that sucks because that is a lot of work to get that out of there. Man, I was not looking forward to that. Alright, well, there's that. Damn. One thing after another with this bike. It doesn't want to just work. She doesn't want to just work. I wish I could just get straight fuel to these carbs. I'd be so happy. Alright, well, let me strip this down. Wow, that was a workout getting that out of there. Alright, we're going to swap it out with this one. Hopefully this one works good. So this one's leaking all out the bottom of the seal. This one's shot. So what happens when bikes sit, man. Don't let these things sit around. It's stupid when people let bikes sit. If you're not going to ride it, sell it. God, man. Alright, before I shove that whole thing back into there and make more work for myself, let's test that fuel pump right meow. Got her hooked up again. Line is back on. We have fuel. Let's prime it. Kicking on. That preloaded for a while. Good. I don't think this one's leaking. Definitely getting fuel. Beautiful. All right. Excellent. Let me open the garage door. Let's see if this thing fires up. I'm sure my neighbors are going to be totally thrilled if this thing starts. But I just want to see. Just want to see. Shouldn't be too late yet. I'm going to push the button once, see what it does. See if it starts up and idles now that it's got proper fuel pressure. Died pretty fast, but you can hear the fuel pump keep priming. Okay, so that's good to know. I need to probably start looking at the airways now. I think the carbs are working good. I think we're having an air issue. Maybe too much air. Anyways, let me shove the fuel pump back in there. Alright, I let her sit all night with fuel. So, we're going to turn this on. A lot of times, if you just let a carb sit that won't run overnight with fuel in it, just let it sit. It'll actually free up a lot of the stuff that's in there. So, I don't have these carbs fully attached, which is the idea, so I can remove them, put them back on quick if I need to. And so, right now, we're just testing. So, let's see if letting it sit overnight made a huge difference on whether it's going to run or not. So, got a completely cold engine. Should be good to go. Let's turn her on. All right, tank primed, or didn't prime very much. That's good. It means it's got a lot of fuel in it. So let's see what happens here. See if it stays running. Let me actually pull this back a little bit. Okay, well, it's definitely running, and it is running both cylinders. A little sporadic. I think it just needs to run a little bit, honestly, is what needs to happen. So, yeah, it's running under its own power. There's no choke on. So if I had the choke on, it would look like this. But choke is completely off, so it's running under its own power. Both cylinders are firing. But the front carb is still having a little bit of an issue with gas transfer. It is idling on both cylinders. One of them is sporadic. The rear one seems to be firing constant, and the front one seems to be kind of on and off firing. So I'm actually going to go ahead and check the spark plug and see what it looks like. So I'm going to pull that front spark plug out of there, and then we'll have a look. But hey, bike's running under its own power. Actually sounds fairly healthy. So I think we're getting a lot closer than we were here with getting this going. And then I think after that, I already replaced the brake master cylinder and put fluid in it. However, this is all bound up, which means I need to pull that caliper and reset it and clean it, and then it should start working properly because I have tons of pressure. So I know it's working, but now it's all locked up, so I'm gonna have to open that up to relieve the pressure on that line so I can move the bike again. But so we're that much closer here. It's running and idling under its own power with the choke off. So all I have is a little bit of work on the front of the carb here. And I noticed it just doesn't want to run when it has too much air, so I put the rag over it. And as soon as I put the rag over it earlier, it started to want to fire. And so I let it sit again, and sure enough, now that some of the gas has sat inside the carbs, it's wanting to run, which is good. This is a huge step in the correct direction. So it's coming along very good. I'm quite happy right now. So we're going to take a little break on this project. And when I get back, hopefully we've made even more progress. Remember, this thing's been sitting since 2017, so everything's just trashed. Just trashed. The entire fuel system was just trashed. So